Hello, my name is Ariana, and for today's video, I'm going to be reacting to Passport 2 by Domics. Let's get into this video. If you haven't seen my first reaction to Passport, this first one, it'll be linked in the description box down below. Now, part 1, I don't think the staff exactly knew their rules, their policy, what they was doing. It's giving I'm gonna give people to run around because I feel like it. But to each their own. To each their own. Also, before I forget, I do like his new little AI, whatever you call it, thing that he's put in his videos after that posted for a year, and it's lit. It's got a fire. It looks kind of nice.
Hi, I'd like an appointment to renew my passport. I'm traveling on this date and I have my proof of travel. Please help me. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired, please.
Okay. And what province do you live in, Dayo?
Ontario.
Ontario? Oh, according to our system, passport service location in your area are allowing walk-ins. Starting on the 21st, that's coming up in 2 days, so you won't need an appointment, Dayo.
Oh, okay, well, could you confirm the location for me? Because I went to one the other week where they couldn't help me, and the other one I see here definitely says it's still appointment only.
Oh, weird. It should update in a few days, so don't worry. You should be able to walk in on the 21st, Dayo.
Okay, I guess I have no choice but to believe you, civil worker of the government. So I go there on the 21st. First thing in the morning again to try and beat the line. Of which there wasn't one. Really. I joined about 10, 15 people, and within a few minutes of waiting, a guard approaches the people in line to make sure they have their documents.
I'm sorry if you can still see this red line right here. I don't know what's up. Why my mouse is doing that, and it's getting on my nerves too, but like...
ready. When he gets to me, he asks if I have an appointment, and immediately I confirm that I have been lied to. I was told they allow walk-ins starting today. No, sir, that's not until April 4th. April? What? I apologize for shooting the messenger, but I was very upset. I argued with him a little bit and kind of made a scene. It just didn't feel like anyone could be held accountable for the misinformation they say. And I was convinced that there's an extreme lack of communication and continuity within the system. If what he said was true, then I'd be trying to renew my passport with about a week left until my travel date. I was starting to lose hope, and I was getting really tired of giving bad news to Stella every time I gave an update. I apply for another callback in hopes to get an appointment before the 4th, because I was getting real tired of wasting my time. It took over a week for them to get back to me, naturally, and the agent confirmed that walk-ins were indeed starting on the 4th. And they couldn't give out appointments anymore, regardless of how loudly I cried. I complained about the other agent telling me the wrong information, but that was that. There was no point. I had no choice but to wait another week, just so I could wait in line again. I wasn't able to go on the 4th, so I decided to go the day after, on the Tuesday. I get there when they're supposed to open. So, the service center is actually located...
If you gotta go through all this for a passport, I would just give up. I would give it a rest. Like, that's a no for me. That would have been my final reason to not renew that passport. Clearly, something is trying to prevent me from going to said place. That clearly means it's not meant for me. Like...
within a mall building, and there are hundreds of people wrapped around the outside. Oh my god, here we go again. It was another cold day, but this time I dressed warmer. Nice. But I wasn't ready for the rain. Not nice. I think it was about 2 hours in when they had people come out and start handing out tickets, much like what the other location did in order to cut off the line. They got to about, I don't know, 20 people ahead of me when they stopped and told the rest of us to go home. A horde of people formed around the messenger, asking questions, pleading desperately to let them in. Me, being among them, asked if there was really nothing that could be done to help us. She simply said, "Try again tomorrow, and arrive even earlier." Okay, let me just sit down right here for a few minutes and cry. In hindsight, I probably should have just started camping out from then and hope I'd be the first one in line the next day. But I was very tired. Tomorrow rolls in and I head back to the passport center again, 2 hours before they open. Upon entering the parking lot, I nearly shit my pants when I saw that the line was even longer than yesterday. But upon closer inspection, people were just more spread out because many of them looked like they've been camping there for hours. Literally, people had tents. So I joined the line, hoping it'll be the last time I do. 2 hours pass, and they open the doors. The line compresses to half of what it was. Shortly after, a worker comes out to ensure people have their documents. And of course, many didn't, and the line shrinks a few percent more. Now, I wasn't expecting to form bonds that day, but I came to learn a lot about my brothers and sisters in line. But I guess that's natural when you wait in line together for 8 hours. Yes, I lined up at around 6:30 a.m. and I got to the front at about 3 p.m. The people behind me became like best friends because they found out they were both truckers and shared a lot of their stories from being on the road. The woman in front of me...
It's the fact that they showed up early, bruh. They gave out the tickets and told everybody else to go home. And then he comes back the next day, hours early, bro. And the line was longer. I would give up. I would just, this is not meant for me, bro. Y'all be like, y'all can have it. Y'all got this, okay?
Kindly offered her lawn chair every now and then to those around her. One of the guy's girlfriend came by for a supply drop of food, but actually brought like 10 extra burgers from McDonald's to hand out. Some dude would walk up and down the line and offered biscuits and cookies, which I respectfully declined because that's a lot of strangers' hands reaching in that box. One woman kind of appointed herself to be our information scout and would walk up to the front every now and then to count how many people were ahead of us and would then report back with a calculation of how much longer we'd have to wait, but also had a separate calculation for how much longer it was to even enter the building and escape the cold. It was sick. I mean, I hated it overall. Like, we all did, but it was entertaining sometimes. At one point, they started handing out the cutoff tickets again, and I exhaled the deepest sigh of relief in my life when I received one. And if I knew it would have been an 8-hour wait, I could have honestly just left, like gone home, taken a nap, and then came back because, I mean, the tickets have numbers on them. But I couldn't do my passport homies dirty like that. We stand in solidarity. Eventually, some people would exit the building having finished their application, and people would ask how long they waited. Apparently, most of the people at the front have been in line since 5 a.m., and the first person camped the night since 3 a.m. When I got to the front, the process was relatively swift. They took my documents, and when I asked if it was possible to do the 2-day turnaround, they said no, only if you're traveling within 2 days. And then told me I could pick up my new passport next Tuesday, the day before my flight to Europe. So that was it, a whole last month of trying to renew my passport, and it definitely didn't need to be that clutch if the system hadn't failed me multiple times. But I guess I am to blame for putting myself in this situation in the first place and not renewing months ahead of time. When I went to pick it up the next week, there was still a massive line, and while it was haunting to look at, I'm glad I won't ever have to do it again for another 10 years. But wait! It's not done. Why would it be? Of course I had more passport problems afterwards. Yay, part 3. The nightmare continues.
Dang.
Hope you guys enjoyed part 2 of this story. big shout out to Pikami for this last minute collab. I kind of rushed to finish this in time before her graduation, so part 3 might take a bit longer. Thank you so much, Pikami, for all your hilarious and wholesome content. She's the reason I got inspired to make this VTuber model in the first place, and her videos really cheered me up during some rough times last year. I'm really glad we got to know each other and became friends, and it's extremely sad to see you go. I wish you the best in wherever you end up next. Alright, take care, everyone.
Period. There's another part coming. I'm gonna react to part 3 eventually. Don't know when, but it's gonna come out. That's all I know. This part, low-key, part 2 was definitely better than part 1. Like, funny-wise for me. If that makes sense. Part 1 was basically more of, like, explaining, like, the startup, the lead-up to this passport story. And part 2 was, like, the icing on the cake. Like, how could it possibly get worse? Like, besides, like, you know, basic miscommunication between systems, staff, workers, bosses, telling people wrong information, giving people the runaround, telling people something that absolutely don't need to happen in the first place. Like, why would you need to tell them that? Anyways, I'm really excited for part 3 to come out. I will try to react to that, like, as soon as possible. But I'm not going to be here this weekend. So, these videos are going to be up whenever they're up. But with that being said, all the links to part 1 and this part that I just watched will be linked in the description box down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. And share this video. Be very much appreciated. And click the bell to be notified for when I post next. And I do be going live on here sometimes. And, you know, I be having fun with my duo playing Valorant. That's most of what I play when I go live. I'll try to play some other games, but it's more so, can my computer handle it? Don't worry, we're going to upgrade soon. It's just going to take some time, some years. But I'm getting this whole YouTube thing rolling again, and I'm so happy about it, because it's been like a good year and a half, close to 2 now, since I've, like, been consistently making content and being, like, happy with the content I'm putting out. Now that I'm, like, genuinely happy with the content I'm putting out now, and, like, it's a hobby again. Like, I actually enjoy coming to my computer to film these videos now without feeling like, oh, I gotta do this again. Oh, I gotta do this again. And feeling like I don't have time to do anything else. Like, I could just breathe. And I actually do enjoy the editing process. Like, once I start, I'm, like, very, like, this. I want this. And I try to make my vision come out as much as possible. Even though most of the time it don't be coming out how I envisioned. But, like, that's just, like, you know, something I gotta work on. Something I practice. Over time, it'll come to me. But I'm gonna go now. Hope everyone has a good night, evening, day, afternoon, wherever you are watching this right at this point in time. But I'm gonna go now, and this is